The dad.
Rock and roll!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Feel, don't think.
Fear is my ally.
The Force will be with you.
We are encouraged to love. Be mindful of your thoughts.
I will not betray the Republic.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder.
I'm not afraid.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
So, how sad are the Reylos and the sequel trilogy fans? Daisy Ridley just signed up for a movie called The Good Samaritan, and it's going to start filming next spring, which, quote, pushes the schedule for the fake Rey movie further back. Now, we have black pills that waved papers in our faces saying it was definitely going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But as time goes on and Daisy Ridley gets work, it gets further and further in the distance. So we can only conclude that there is no Rey movie and never has been. That Kennedy, during Star Wars Celebration in 2023, thought she could leverage the Rey movie to be made, or some sort of movie with Rey in it, by having Daisy Ridley come out as this fake Rey movie was announced. And it wasn't. It didn't happen. I think Disney looked at it and said, oh no, oh hell no, why? It doesn't sell merchandise. So the black pill saying they don't care about the money, yes, they do care about the money. The black pill saying they get money from George Soros. Well, George Soros doesn't spend his own money, guys. It's already been proven that he took USAID money that was laundered through NGOs and then used our taxpayer money for Antifa, paying Antifa and other protesters, et cetera, funding campaigns and that kind of garbage. George Soros doesn't care about this stuff. So that whole they get money from billionaires is bullshit. Billionaires hold stock in Disney, have shares. Billionaires look at Disney stock price and go, cringe. But that's as far as that goes. This is strictly a business decision on the part of Bob Iger and the powers that be on the board of directors. I think the moment the rise of Palpatine, slinked across the $1 billion mark and then they yanked it, was proof positive that this wasn't going to happen. Hasbro didn't make any new Rey figures for The Rise of Skywalker, and really they didn't have to, because J.J. Abrams and his creativity and talents, they're not existent. J.J. Abrams is not a creative at all. He makes sometimes technically really pretty movies, but they lack story. And if your movie doesn't have a story, you're not going to have a good movie, right? I don't care how pretty it is. The Last Jedi, The Farce Awakens, and The Rise of Palpatine, which was filming up until 2 weeks before it was supposed to go premiere, is proof positive of that. We just have to, look at our compatriots, the black pills, and say, you guys were always wrong about this. And, some of us didn't need an announcement from Disney that this wasn't going to happen. And the reason why is because we looked at the merchandise, we looked at the box office. Now we've got, the video from like a month ago from Clownfish TV saying they barely made $1.9 billion in profits. And I mean, that's money that Disney got to keep from all 3 Skywalker movies, actually all Star Wars movies. And that's not good. So why would Disney want to put more money up on a franchise that they allowed Kathleen Kennedy to gut? And sorry to say this, but yes, she gutted Star Wars, right? Her incompetence, her insecurity, her resentment all came to boil with the sequel trilogy that she didn't know what she was doing because she didn't care. But, we can talk more.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
My name is Jeff.
Who is the glue to all 5 of these films that gave us all of our rhythm and all of our melody, the great maestro, John Williams.
So if you add the revelation that Disney shot down the Hunt for Ben Solo movie, it's not been a good month for Kathleen Kennedy's team or the Black Pills, because it just shows that they've moved on from that Lucasfilm itself has moved on from any of that stuff. And they're concentrating on things like, Mando and Grogu. They're concentrating on Starfighter, which sounds like not only did Sean Levy film it on a shoestring budget, but he filmed fast, which is professional. And of course, the new revelation that they've are developing an anime film based on the Ninth Jedi from Star Wars Visions, with this animation studio that created it. And that's what they're concentrating on. So this Rey movie stuff, this Ben Solo stuff, is just a distraction. When Daisy was asked about when is the movie starting, she didn't know. And now that she's making The Good Samaritan, it just gets further in the distance. So to me, I think, for her fans, the Molly Damons of the world, etc., accept it. Accept it. There is no Rey movie, right? None. For the Black Pills out there, you were wrong. Waving papers at a camera and demanding everybody believe you, it just doesn't, who cares? Right? You were full of shit. You always were. Because you're not talking to anybody that would know any of this stuff. And we all know that. And that's, the point is the internet is full of misinformation. And, we're seeing it in politics right now. Both sides have divisions within their coalitions because, one side is pissed off at Chuck Schumer, and he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. They're all pissed off at John Fetterman, who is a Democrat you could actually have a conversation with and not want to punch him. And of course we've got the Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens insanity going on, and which has got to be, that has to be nipped in the bud, my opinion. And now we've got this fake Rey movie not being made. Who would have ever thought? It's kind of like people saying Trump never went to Epstein Island, because had he gone, the Democrats would have made sure not only were they saying it was real, that it wasn't a rumor, they would have receipts, and they never did. Now, they're getting what they want, which is the Epstein files to be released, or they say they wanted it, and the reporters that looked at the emails from Jeffrey Epstein said Jeffrey Epstein was patient zero for Trump derangement syndrome because, as Trump said, he was the one that turned him in. He was one that turned evidence and talked to the FBI and the police about Epstein, right? This is the same thing. There are, you can wave papers at a camera and it's still not going to make it true. And, like I've said before, this is all a narrative. They need the narrative to work because they make money at this, right? And I'm going to say this. A lot of the black pills, they don't have other jobs. This is what they do for a living. And they're not talented enough, like, well, Doomcock is talented. And he's smart enough to say, this is entertainment. Right? The rest of these people think they're Fox News. And they're more like, Weekly World News of Bat Boy visiting the White House. So, same thing with the blue pills. When you synthesize it down to its essence, it becomes bullshit because they're not fans to begin with. Do I have to say who loved The Last Jedi before he realized he couldn't make money loving The Last Jedi? We all know who that was. I mean, a lot of these guys were Johnny-come-latelys, and they saw money to be made. And, it's just what they do is they make shit up. It's like turning on a video on Facebook, realizing how unbelievable it is, and finding out it's AI. This is exactly what's going on here. It's another analogy. And it's like, you kind of look at some of these black pills and go, who is your connection? Aleister Crowley? Madam B from, the Astrology Network? I mean, that's how bad it's gotten. So now the Direct posts what the Variety article about Daisy Ridley not having, like the Ray movie being pushed back. And, they're disappointed. But again, they want a Ray movie to talk about. And they liked the sequel trilogy, which is like, you've got to be kidding me. But, I look at it as lack of education, the need to be validated, and the need to constantly hear the same message over and over and over again. That's the millennials and a lot of Zoomers. They have to be validated. It's not, it's like, look, the other analogy is going on the internet, going on X, which is down, by the way, right now, and trying to figure out a great banger X tweet to get validation because people liked it. The only person who ever needs to validate you is you, right? Look at the younger generations and go, where have we gone wrong? And the Ray movie, this thing engineered by Kennedy, run with by both sides. Meanwhile, the rest of us are going, they're never going to do this. They've lost money with Daisy Ridley as Ray. They're not going to do this anymore. And they're not. And we all go on. Anyway, wanted to put this out there. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.